94.7 Asempa FM so ne Ekosiisen dwumedie and osugusu a wutie no 11 minutes after 4 live on Asempa FM meaning your saibo nso from obi mo modemo messages abenyinara yedamo nyina ase for your contributions nti yebehwe na yakan bi amamo dwumedie no ekoso make say the honorable Andre Japamesa atena se we say obi good afternoon. In as much as we all condemning the book, let's not draw tribal politics into this. Ghana is the only country we have. Ours are good people, especially their number 9 ladies. Good afternoon to Honorable Frank Anodompre, Majority Chief Whip. Thank you. Castro Ananu in Sawem. Let me see. On Asempa FM. There is also a statement from the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. Some good news. There was some kind at the wood you assume especially more per scholarship. This is some good news for you. And it's for immediate release Monday, 15th March 2021. Kofi Tonto, Head of Information and Public Affairs, and then Sasha said full scholarship opportunity by World Bank to pursue architectural engineering at Pennsylvania State University. The Embassy of Ghana, US of A, is pleased to inform the Ghanaian public about the World Bank Graduate Scholarship Program. This is a unique academic opportunity for qualifying students to pursue architectural engineering at the Penn State Uni at no cost, in the Pennsylvania State University at no cost, free. The World Bank's full scholarship program covers all expenses for professionals from Ghana to obtain a Master of Science or a Master of Engineering degree in architectural engineering. The Master of Science program prepares students for advanced building system design, construction, operation and analysis, whereas the Master of Engineering combines core competences with substantive flexibility among students to create the skills required to transform the building sector. Both degree programs are a 30-credit core curriculum designed to prepare students to develop solutions to address the specific needs of Ghana. Preferred candidate must have at least the following: a 4-year undergraduate degree in engineering-related fields, including but not limited to civil engineering, mechanical engineering, construction engineering, structural engineering, material engineering, and electrical engineering. A minimum of 3 years of work experience in infrastructure development-related fields, including heating, cooling, electricals, building, construction, and government policies, and also a strong background in mathematics and science. Prospective Ghanaian students who are interested in the Master of Engineering or Master of Science degree program must first apply through the Pennsylvania State University Graduate School online portal. Interested candidates are strongly encouraged to work closely with officials of Penn State Uni to ensure success. The application deadline for this academic year is Wednesday, March 31st, 2021. To learn more about this opportunity, you just have to visit the GhanaEmbassyDC.org/education. In the Embassy of Ghana, Washington, D.C., statement Omodi Abanono said, full scholarship opportunity be home Ghana ni to go and pursue architectural engineering at Pennsylvania State University. In Timon Shanenso, and for a glorious opportunity, take note and do the needful. Na yamompa yenhwese nyame bibie kwan ato super guso na onya kwan akosua de we say okay, let me see the other messages we have here. Na fe yenhwe na yentwaso say Obama says a free Akoto is contesting gidi mate, and we would see how that one will go. We say Obi, good afternoon. Okay. Wish King Nana Otafrija Komenin Ajeman Nyansabuakwa a happy birthday for me. Or ye Chief of Chebi Afiesa. Chebi Afiesa. Nana Otafrija Komenin Ajeman Nyansabuakwa. Happy birthday to you. We feature Nebuakudu, you know, a journalist in the Eastern region and all the way Abba. There are other messages here. Ma membrana fe memma mpanyifo ya kwaba na yentoa so nti amanano no yesi wonyene hini atwemampo no. Okay, Amanano is a river there. Dr. Srebo Kweku, thank you for that information. Honorable Andrew Japan mesa kwaba na apom tenen.
Brother Bokodeko was there.
Okay.
Yakopon why na domas party and has ndase.
Any other man?
Yes, man. In share with you for
what you do.
Kanka with you for Sikuna hotel in Gabri.
What you do.
Yeah,
that's it. Honorable fellas, Quacho for Swat Nasi. Honorable Aquaba na Apomi there.
Oh, Nyamiadum, Bibia Bako, a fan of Pomoding. I was a man is a wish budget stroke, any another 2 days, and or how new Hiana Bebresa. A day abre Ghana for. Meaning is a Ghana baby our ha. Neniaji. And I said Ghana baby anywhere would see me and Neniaji. Or your MPP needs a damn cry. They will not be amused about the kinds of hardships. Yeah, Nana Kufa the river when you are buying. A day abre woman. Na we know Akoye is Yadia Kakra. That you are my same pimping about to breast soon. Na ebinum bekeka nsema akesi jeje ba akesi tu omo ho so mo nimdia ekotwi ko breman a ebi mada ese ya hwe yi kakra ansa na yakwa akoto aba ama wo na wo hwe kwan a eye akufado ne ba wo mia ba ye akufado en ba mia government e de Ghana fo afaso wo budget mu a we ho sem bebre it's an extremely harsh budget. Extremely harsh budget. A de ahokyere pa bebre Ghana fo na the impact no I'm say when the measures not take effect. To see say I think say me ha me ninka omoko post budget workshop.
Yeah.
I'm say I don't know whether that's
good.
Inti omoba ombe ye debates na appropriations. Na ye gitu mu wi a na fe some of the measures on the aba they needed legislative backing no. Aba. Ehwo no na ye be sha ase hu or how they be. So it is not an exciting period to be a Ghanaian at all. It's not an exciting period at all.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but going into the details.
Now I go up at the EJH.
Yeah.
The Felix was we beja.
What's the budget? Wama bobo.
You see, Obi. Taxes they will be ampetia. It's a matter of fact. Particularly when there's always a concern whether the funds are being managed properly.
Yeah.
And he said, if a ban or read the budget, now ban national track record, time about banning in 2017. You're reducing and abolishing 17 taxes. Now say this year Yabanese 3 new taxes are back. Then people begin to raise questions. But if say take a step back, now share all the taxes now abano introducing and the purpose, then you begin to appreciate why ohia the taxes no ban will be introduced. Now, if you take a further step back, na bisa who there are. Nancy, yeni anum NDC fo in particular. What's na ho na worker there budget no be create a hardship obey them or you're insensitive or them. Ejindembia energy sector cost ho. Hana no cost excess capacity as we speak, Obi last week, Mitchell, table B, graph, or depict yen consumption pattern, electricity, pre-2015, no, post-2015. Na yen demand, and a PMN who document be a we issue. And if you look at the fact that between 2015 and 2020, you contract almost 3,000 megawatts of power that we don't need, that we have to pay for. And all those contracts were signed when you were in government.
Asempa FM
Has to be paid for. Indeed, Abano attempted or renegotiate a Krubi Krawa terminate judgment debt. Some GPGC. So you ask a question that into banking sector cost in excess of 20 billion. And Obiawana economics kakreo in the opportunity cost of how much that government has had to incur in resolving a problem that you supervised and created, that you did not have the will to deal with. Mr. Mahama mentioned it in the State of the Nation address before he left. There was a huge problem in the banking sector. You supervised it. You didn't act.
On Asempa FM.
Banfo Fraba has had to swallow a bitter pill to clean up the space. Somebody has to pay for it. Actually, COVID-19 expenses are abandoned care. Somebody has to pay for it. And see, look, it's not pleasant. The taxes now. I mean, to be able to. Massimo koto petrol. Say I'm if you say kunebe. To petrol. Say cost the mutu and the if it's going to go up by some 5.6 or 5.7%. Maso abaka. But I need to have the sense of mind to then look back and say, into what are the alternatives aban owo to deal with the problem that we have as a nation. And I can appreciate that these are necessary. Osende Obi, share energy sector the shortfalls there. It's projected to hit $12 billion
Ekosiisen
by 2023.
Asempa FM.
If Saban Wanyoshi and the 12 point and here him $1 billion. Why not government only wanna? It's you and I. In the year you been him the one share no say and sikasam who over man. And so ultimately, that I could for don't make a first baby out. It's either Robert Babosa based on the approval when of the parliament. Another will raise revenue internally. And look at all the steps Aban or take compliance, efficiency, digitalization. Now, modest contribution. Because I compare the rate of increases in petroleum prices. And I don't know budget. If you look at what it is that our friends did when they in government. Now they compare the time. Nobody will tell you who is more sensitive than the other. But there's a huge problem on our hands. I don't know Saturday Joe Jackson.
Daylex Finance.
Yes, TV3.
Finance.
He says that we should have been bolder and generate more revenue.
Through taxes?
Not revenue generation or through which means?
No, sir, I'm other route. Borrowing.
Waka borrowing. But you look at the debt. We are getting to unsustainable levels.
Yeah, and to put things in perspective, no, so from the budget statement, debt stock, according to the Minister Act, this is your year, or acting minister, right?
Yes,
Leader.
minister responsible for finance.
Minister responsible for finance in an acting capacity. Or say chairman sabun. So budget what do channel. Desktop ni CCR a 291 billion. That's 291.6 billion. 76.1% of GDP. In 2016, now a 122 billion, which is 56.9% of GDP. Now, Osanso Chremu, the narrative behind some figures we know say what accounted for the 2020 debt stock, or say the fiscal impact of COVID-19 and on buying a book 19.7 billion Ghana cedis. That's so far a car buyable COVID.
Financial sector cleanup.
Cost of financial sector cleanup 21 billion Ghana cedis. Cost of excess capacity charges paid to IPPs 12 billion Ghana cedis. Inti okamien say bomua not just a non kwano enim papa revision of growth rate from an average of 7%, that's between 2017 to 2019, to 0.9% in 2020, which is because of COVID-19. Okawa said the 2020 figure includes cost of banking sector cleanup and impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, and that's where we are at the moment. But one thing so kaka the rate of Ghana's debt accumulation and the rise in your debt stock it is at a decreasing rate. And he makes the point, sir, without the aforementioned four factors, debt stock would have been 238.9 billion, which would have been 58.7% of GDP. And senye fiscal impact of COVID-19, banking sector cleanup, and excess capacity charges will move here to IPPs now. Anka Ghana can in 238.9 billion Ghana cedis. And no, Anka be 58.7% of GDP, which will be bare 2 percentage point rise from 56.9% of GDP NDC in 2016. Now, OSHA rate of Ghana's debt accumulation, according to the minister now, between 2004 and 2008, your debt stock increased by 30%. 2008 and 2012, it increased by 269%. 2012 and 2016, it increased by 243%. And between 2016 and 2020, debt stock will increase by 137%. And that's the data the acting finance minister through the budget where relative to the public debt argument
Obi, and see that it speaks for itself. Look, yeah. In all of this, you have to situate it in proper perspective. Osende say eshe between 2017, 2018, 2019. Yen economic figures are now generate relative to what it is that you inherited from Union NDC4. Obi, Ghana was the talk of the world in terms of economic performance. In spite of all the challenges that we inherited in the finance sector and the energy sector, our economic indicators were looking way better until COVID struck. I can't also Bibiana the cash COVID. Oh, now I'm share COVID because of what? Because look, finance minister on the 30th of April statement or deliver of parliament. Oma indicators ni na how our economy is expected to suffer because of COVID. COVID clearly is an outlier. Say she Akufo-Addo no 4 years performance in terms of managing the economy. COVID, complete outlier. Now, question is, oya Ghana pia na economy wa ye battered as a result of COVID. The whole world It's an obedient take a position there. Look, use that as an opportunity to change the economic fundamentals no significantly. But Abanbiano or their balancing act. The truth of the matter is that Ghana, yen financial situation, as of 2016, only 3 line items. No consumption and consumption now. Or consumption and tax revenue now. Wages and salaries, interest payments, non-statutory payment. What's that? Now it's shrunk to 2. Because government has had to incur all these expense to pay for the rot, the mismanagement of the past. So that in a clean slate now, then we can take off within the 3 years of Batanpa Ghana Cares program, Abanwe lane out to revive and revitalize the economy. Now, critics nehu opposition party biade ono wejuma sebe so na prayer hanyin. There shall ban and some maybe okay wa campaign period be wabra opera banawa power. Now, strangely, they don't go back to the times that they themselves were in opposition and the kinds of things that they said that when they came to power, they woefully failed to achieve. Indeed, 2020, time aban on Ghana for support in terms of reduction in electricity bills, no free water, no one can. You know, NDC for on record to have criticized government. But they won't manifesto. Did you see that manifesto? They promised freebies more than anybody within the campaign period. Why? Because they realize that the impact of what it is that Aban are here to support Ghanaians. Simple one Kebia. Aye Abano Onkoye. And indeed Abano so Onkoye. Osanda Ghana for at all times compare their track record that these are our friends are we inheriting an oil economy. President Kufuor Juma didn't yet discover oil in commercial quantities. Nah, and one now what started there? What's oil no fason first at the time that they had described it as a jungle time what they sample what they call parliament. To the point that the economy in 2011 grew by almost 14%. 2020, they acted as if there was no tomorrow. Between July, time President Mills, Onyeni Baby call, to December.
That's 2012.
2012. We block cash them at the GBN. No sondo near the Kopo IMF for policy credibility and economic support to try and fix the mess that they had created. Nana do dan kwa Kufuor bay. But for COVID, Obi, nkebe meji na sisi ano. Krabohe.
Okay.
But it's not too late. Osende, ya ye bipen. We have the track record of managing and reviving an ailing, almost dead economy that President Mahama left for His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And see, Mama Srenye there. In Chema Aban Oda Abano, women na yente nature. Osande Obi. COVID cost. We have to pay for it. Energy sector cost. We have to pay for it. Banking sector, and then strangely, maybe na 5% levy levy on financial institutions, one profit before tax. Or pass on charges to consumers. The propagandas will when you man so kakra. Obi. That levy is it a consumption levy? On yet the final financial performance of the bank. through and one revenue will generate from charges and aban or apply a tax. And is it even new? Fiscal stabilization levies from President Kufuor Nabredo to pay for the toll mess that no one can win. Was it not on the banks that because of the nature of the work that they do and the floats are winning, you know, that government tax or levies that profit before tax? How does that amount to transferring cost to consumers? Obi road toll ya me na we twa ekota krade every day ya be one Ghana city Land Cruiser ebe the road no repair. And this Aban indicate the look, we have to review it and peg it to the basis of every year BI increases are inflation or yabona Obi agenda 111 Aban will commit almost $1 billion already. Fiam kwantaka no business continuity plan hospital painful wo di hujuma ontoma April May ya obude asobobo form ma why facility no. All these services I na ye ditum there Ghana fu ye hia has to be paid for.
Ekosiisen
Na mo twene wa
FM.
hey many day powder Felix Ossi debate bokodo. Na mo twene no alternatives.
Say be a CC Felix.
Oh, ebe so will be ha, but now no can option my debate you are.
Me maintain kaka na
it is our alternatives to the revenue measures are ban way lane out because budget na yo. The only focus is on the revenue side. One focus in all the talk that I've heard from particularly NDC activists, all on the revenue, hardship, taxes, this, that. You impose the 17. This government reduced and abolished them into one common alternatives.
Mate.
Nende yense.
Ma maintain mbra Ekosiisen suni haya Sempa FM. Felix kwacho for so bebam CBG say ye cut taxes in some media. Say e was say utua taxes, e was say utua customs duties. All other Ghana Revenue Authority payment ya ne easy amount in here say obeko GRA office bia odie say CBG branch mi na ben wa rem na ka tell us opese obetua tax and as our customs duties with GRA payment nyina and now the tenefie na fa phone na dial *222# *222# to pay your customs duties, your GRA taxes, your Environmental Protection Agency levies, Ghana Standard Authority levies, Food and Drugs Authority levies, and levies for all other government services. Nyina o dial *222# ubetimi etua. Visit our website ghana.gov.gh and fill your forms and generate your invoice. Na any opesa free CBG ni wodi nkomo a 0302216000 CBG or say we stand with you. Me pa cho so wasase landed property within Accra or anywhere else. Enya asase nkwa asase we dan bibia within Accra na say baby biara and you are looking for a home to rent or buy, or you have property to rent out or sell, Renters Paradise is your best bet. Renters Paradise, a highly skilled team, I deliver the quickest response in property sales or renting. Or property biana per se toma, and I say the rent emawa, Mr. Only Renters Paradise ena any enkomo. We provide the best rate on the market, whether you are buying or selling. You can call us on 0551 954 406, 0551 954 406. Your website, your rentersparadisegh.com. With us, your peace of mind is assured. Renters Paradise, your professional landlords. Only in the enkomo. Felix, maybe I told my mintio. Budget, starting with public debt matters arising. Yes.
I'm say, Abra, Umami Aquaba, will be Sammy Quansom. Michelle will say this is an extremely harsh budget. In fact, let me go a step further and say it is a terrible budget. One of the very worst. Yenya ewa Ghana bakosimu. Na many ane kasano na behwe din Misri. Not out of disrespect for him. I have a lot of respect for Miniano. But you see, me kai sabi imperiasa enumudwa ombedwa kire yen when they were in opposition. Kasa kesia na omoka. Ene the head of the economic management team, Dr. Baumia, Sabriano, propaganda chair, you create man or a university. Say onkoye lectures. Sa time na you catch the media for Ghana for say sa nyama work. It has nothing to do with any knowledge in economics. Economic propaganda and na oye. Taking advantage of genuine problems, some of it structural with the economy to do propaganda. It had nothing to do with economics. Obeso ekonwa say head of economic management team na abe dead say asema na ye kan ye no kre na mum de all kan na enye no kre na ye bosire muka. It was pedestrian propaganda in many ways. Obi ye nyina ye nim so man bia especially a developing country to say ye nim your source of revenue na ye miensa na say nine your revenue nye free exports say nyame dom ye no ma ye e fomu egudie oil gold koko ne kan ho a ye koton ho a sika ye nya no. And no until the advent of oil, then shada nye sike bia emu odu, but not the perception is there's a lot of money. And which a toa minu mi yetua. And na bosia yakobo. And na afedi a friend grant. A year sika ebia nipa ana maya mun sem wobi ana edwumeko mun sem wobi no e de bedom ye. Into no be anim say a toa and a bosia bo are a regular part and feature of any economy. In terms of its management. Now, so Dr. Bamian and the MPP, and I who for big simply so catch say, oh, yes, I had the bonnet. O man penny akufado, or no one ever fast in Impon, Gabio Chedako. A year 14 September 2015, or Coachella Assembly or Twitter, Mekano, Bunise verbatim, or say, if running an economy was all about borrowing your way into an unsustainable debt hole, then any half-wit could be president. Because I cannot repeat it. And fan describe your man penny or tissue. But no person watching say, Sabi paid yasa. Sabi paid your mamento Sabi, but it is not a reference to Ubia. Say Sabi paid yasa. Or Quasibia be to me mine. Say a memo a year, Bosiaba, Yakobon. And what you know? Dr. Baumia, head of economic management, just as I wanted to help Cobain, no, or down, Ghana, at least since 1996 convention, I bet I want to say, we are vice president. I'm not sure whether it was the case in Alaji Ali Mama time. Maybe Minia Mesa has information which may provide. But at least President Rollins and President Mills and President Akufo-Addo standard on my setting, and President Mahamaso.
Ekosiisen on Asempa FA.
Say ebano eto I no so ye another way aban enye sikadibu omanya. Asem wakan. I say the NDC has resorted to increasing taxes under the economic difficulties they created. An MPP government will do differently. NDC for abosia eto basa na yejeje. MPP aban the omo nye ne sa ma ye bibi foforo. They be ameka say you can only be appraised and judged based on your own positions and commitments. What shall the best and I made you so a boa thing? What yes, I can say, of course, yeah. The indication they give, and indeed it is in their manifesto, said they will reduce taxes, reduce borrowing, ensure that there is fiscal discipline, ease the cost of doing business. So, Oman can simply so work. They actually codified it. The share on manifesto mu afi 2016. Enti obi sa wo ba abemu a ade aba ko pani yehwe anim. Say sa 4 sources of revenue. Wo be diversify just say wo be trim. Enti de bia abosia abo na yeto no eso beti. Na mu wo be pa kwan fufuo bi so afa a ye benya sika de abo ye ho bra. In addition to the award that. Omo ba yi omo nye bibia sa. They have not done anything different from what they came to meet. Na no bossa the share in terms of the management of the economy no. And they want to be given a pass. There's a excuse said they should be excused. Sometimes in period as a president, Mama dear, not Moja and Funny into another Okajet to a de bonnet, or Kobosia de bonnet. Now, I go forward dear. Sometimes in period as or any passing president, Mamma and Tino, or Bobosia, the young fan channel. Say, or two a tuma, yen tum. That is the argument, the conversation they are having with us. First of all, the only way I'll be say, or my idea sing and I say, or my idea sing, are the figures. You started with debt. So, what's your budget no more? On for Chairman Sabonso, Jina Muma, Finance Minister, representing budget. Or say, Sisia Ekaya, this or mine, a 291.6 billion Ghana cedis. A year, 76% of our GDP, and that's a debt to GDP ratio of 76%. Oriano, he sought to make excuses, say, at the Kuntia, Bosiano Kojina, Bibi Yan say, the effect of COVID-19, a 19.7 billion.
Yes.
And on one fan church, he didn't even give him any breakdown. What is the basis for that figure? I told him, no. I say financial sector clean up here 21 billion. And cost of excess capacity 12 billion. And also in church, there's no explanation, no breakdown, nothing. I can't know why. And another one, you see impact of reduction in growth. And there's no figure. Until we are left hanging, no figure. Until exactly how did the reduction in growth affect the economy and public debt? One fan church mubia wakana wa bonus remark. On what basis do you accept this in any serious economic analysis? Kind. These excuses must be rejected. I see a bogu. Because abembi eni wakobo si asebi or pay your gum eshisikano. Every government has borrowed for a reason, so there is always a reason to borrow. And any city near Kobosiano, Sebi Yokoba, Sebi Pedia, ya the good car was near Pedia Gumia Shena. Is that why we went to borrow? We always borrowed for a reason. There's a reason for borrowing. It is one of the ways, sir. Ofaso at the ball, mine hobra. There's no excuse for borrowing beyond the fact that you need money to run the country. That's all. That's why I am rejecting these excuses. Say, if they had managed the economy well and diversified your revenue base, and kind of found a COVID, but they also have money to finance it because they had done nothing extraordinary from what they came to meet in T. They did the same things. Except that instead of taking responsibility, they want to make excuses. Now, President Mamadu or to he used it to finance development, any budget, and I'm a in any event, COVID by Omonye sekansi abembia. World Bank and Tom $100 million I'm raising. In the Nancy Amity say, is it Australian High Commission also? Or say, I'm bring about $35 million to support our efforts. Grants. I'm the chair. Bank of Ghana. I'm 10 billion Ghana cedis. 2016. Yenya penny. In Bank of Ghana. Bank of Ghana ma buying with 10 billion Ghana cedis. And which IMF. Rapid credit facility, omunya $1 billion. What's the sound? About 5.6 billion Ghana cedis. Any sikan kitten amine edebedom yen, which were grants. So what's your revenue? And indeed, our minister no budget anymore. Averagely, since 2017, omunya 4 billion Ghana cedis afibia. It is quadruple of the Omampeni Mama in this 4-year tenure. We are talking close to 15 to 16 billion Ghana cedis in oil revenue. Sawoba etwa budget statement in Minister Nekai say 2020 omunya 55 billion Ghana cedis in domestic revenue. Sawoka 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020 boma oma cross 150 billion Ghana cedis in revenue. Etwa amenu mionu yetia. Grants a omenya no above 4 billion Ghana cedis. In 2017, grants of about $720 million. So what's the saying in they've had access to over 300 billion Ghana cedis even before COVID. It is a SK way in to me. I'm way more minor. You want us to excuse you because you've put up a figure said 19.7 billion. You are not even able to break it down. Say this is what caused it. In any event, say you crisis answer more can you cry. We are talking of about 50 billion Ghana cedis. What's the free one?
And Rebecca 238.
And 40
billion, yeah.
What's it 240 billion if you 120 billion? I'll bet you anymore. And now the other way around. What's it 120 billion if you 240 billion? You are talking 80 billion Ghana cedis before COVID came. The same budget statements. The minister needed to say, as of March and as of 2019 year end, net debt to GDP ratio is 62%. It's in the budget. Until they had crossed now almost the 70 figure now before COVID came. It will know they are illegitimate excuses that must be rejected. In any event, the same budget statement, the minister no or the two who say, Omo buying papa, they are better managers of the economy in Tino. They were able to give reliefs. Omo kwa about one. Almost your mama free water and free electricity in amount for one to abama. So you are taking credit for those things, and a deliberate decision. You are not forced to. Obian shall say yes. You decided to do it. Now you take credit for it, meaning say a deliberate policy. Now say a monsoon was one about is a liability. I heard that I was here no the infant now you were forced to. The same with banking sector cleanup. Say you are a compassionate government. It was a man for us and music and shit. Now, be the best say banking sector then you turn around in the same budget statement to claim credit. Say more about why how can you say we decided to obey to 21 billion and be the papa yet second body house you blame you be yes so called capacity charges on booking mami che bibi mu sa figure me nua ya the tuja so we buy near install capacity of 3,000 megawatts and yeah event saying consumption around 2,400 until our reserve margin kakra. Edi kind. Abra doom so buy ya 30 economy for 3 consecutive years. They never accepted it as an excuse. You doom so any president mama na buy. A cumulative effect of underinvestment. But you see, unlike President Akufo-Addo, President Mama, he takes responsibility for problems. Sabi, President Mama, one could doom switch. Baby, I say any doom so. A problem about 2 years or so, no solve it, but you never accepted it. I feel you are not the same. Now they are covered bad year. We should excuse you. The Akoma and say it was necessary to ensure the assembly in CBU. Said 3,000 megawatts in Kwani Jaya. In Kayeda Sumu. Now, I'm about 2 SS capacity. I see the Sumu. And I'm for about 2 months. They be a light. You do no Ghana. Even in the face of SS capacity.
Asempa FM.
And it is not every capacity and a mao electricity because the thing is installed. But if it be available capacity, emu ahin and as a newo o pa on sabeka.
On sabeti maka.
Sent here yes and say if you didn't be wo but I say T3 a machine for mono channel. You saw ya na mu chemiunu. It has never come on stream as I speak. I say. Even though it was supposed to be a new way. But when you are calculating installed capacity, but it doesn't work. Me, time I do so by, there was a day I make Honorable Kofibu in the office as deputy communications. I mean, you could be. Let one on your information, text message. Said 2 of the plants in the Takrady enclave, no. Sima and what touchimanti, it is taken offline. That's about 600 megawatts gone in 1 day. But say we need additional plants or the best one or better so much and unti and I expand the capacity to 5,000. It doesn't mean no. You won't try man who not short for and son our expanded capacity. So there will be a cost for having additional capacity. So I take or pay your more bastardized and it is not a sincere analysis. Nipa or the electricity brown or the sika and ashim why he must recover his cost. So if you want reliable electricity, there's a cost that you pay. It will abide with your wounds. The effect necessary menu me no yen desum yebenyesi abradom so ba ne nyina ye ne impact yenya no Ghana ha amanfo adwuma say meboa amanfo adwuma gu meboa e de ho kire bre bi no meboa it is aban ye hyehyɛ se be ye nkomu bioma bɔne a waye ne de wahin Omo buy, you say omo for 1 megawatt of Grand Canyon. The reason why it's not necessary to do that is that we have sufficient capacity. President, I'm at time and then but Obi, I am insisting says 12 billion. They must bring us a breakdown. What's your mid-year budget? Or for that be ready a year about July 2020. Or the truth just say the total payments they've made in the energy sector amounted to about 5.144 billion Ghana cedis. And no crown or any excess capacity payment. And your regular payment. There's a company be a form of Stratcon Energy. Yet it's our company around July 2017. About where this idea say instead say IPPs no and kasabe tomu fuel normally fire or thermal plants all of it should be done by this Stratcon company. Of course any name say here. And kwanya will be best senti. Sa company nkwa omutu over 631 million. 631 million between 2019 and 2020. It is according to Minister Lankasa mid-year budget, 5.144 billion. So where from this 12 billion? Where is the breakdown? Where is the proof? So much you proof. Obi, and Ghana about 3 weeks ago, IPP's issue statement said they were going to shut down their plants if government does not make good their commitments to them. So what are they talking about? Adansidia was as one more can end their way. It will be a cow modiano. Ye and you one see the crane film and attribute it to anything. A cow my bo. It is in contravention of our promise on year in their manifesto say Ome reduce. If you look at the key things they assess a car and a public data, all of it they are doing worse than the NDC.
How about when they say the rate of debt accumulation under them above from and they show figures, for example, say the debt stock has risen by 1.7%.
I don't know, Brony friend, meaningless contrivance. I said they've contrived it to confuse Nipa Omonti Asemnasi. Because it is completely meaningless. It doesn't add anything to the debate. Okay. Say,
meaningless
contrivance. It is contrived.
Okay.
The reason is that all the accurate indices now are bad. Into we're not a fabrication. And they are to confuse people listening. That's all. But so I'm see.
Oh yeah.
Say IMF no back in there. Now you analyze your data. That thing won't matter. The IMF measure any total amount, nominal figure.
The nominal figure.
Two, I measure the friend of debt to GDP ratio. Sent yes, and they say, person say a car would be to me is it sustainable? And at 3, almost share the portion of revenue. Sika would a tax almost say if you measure 70, almost measure 72 billion in revenue tax. A musa or the betia
would it ka.
These are the
interest.
These are the 3 things, the serious decision makers no share. Now, me are standing in and your papa. Sir, debt rate of debt accumulation.
Yeah.
The reason I make actually say nobody takes it seriously in any debt society analysis. Say, the fact say the rate of borrowing compared to the amount doesn't mean you've done better than me. Say maybe 2 sika a year 10 billion as our debt. Now me ko 10 billion Ghana cedis. A 100% increase. Into 20 billion me boa. Say me ko 15 billion. Would you compare 20 billion at 75%? Into make a say you've done better. But Mr. 15 billion no, it's saying 10 billion now. So that is all that they have done. Because our debt has grown, subsequent borrowings appear smaller in terms of percentages, but in terms of actual value and figure, it is bigger than what they meant. Another way to look at it is say, so what can a 291 billion? Sorry, 296 billion. Sebi, a papa say a car 120 billion. Who can do such an analysis? Into Dr. Bamiani MPP for no, the only yarn say, so I'm won't chill. Now the key indicators then they will fabricate something to mislead unsuspecting members of the public. And this I'm kind of say a meaningless contrivance. It doesn't mean anything in the analysis that we do. If they are sincere, they should use the same standards they used against the NDC to measure this. The key ones, my boss watching.
The nominal
figures, debt to GDP ratio, and then the percentage of tax revenue. Would it service with
it? For example, my very good friend Theo Echampo, petroleum economist, or say decoding the 2021 budget. Do you know that the government of Ghana will in 2021 spend more money servicing the country's debt than paying public sector salaries. This is the first time this would have happened in over 15 years, or maybe even since the HIPC days. Interest payments are projected at 36 billion Ghana cedis. That is 8.3% of GDP, or 32% of total expenditure. While employee compensation is projected at 30 billion Ghana cedis. That is 7% of GDP, or 27% of total expenditure. Again, interest payments are about 3 times what we spend on capital expenditure and 4 times the spend on goods and services.
University of Dundee.
Yes.
Yes.
As you think Dundee or Charlie or Dundee.
Yes, I'm
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
My name Dr. Aminanta.
Yeah.
Peter Mewu.
Yeah.
Yaku school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inti as far as I can work on this is what will be analyzed. Sende yakosi yakobo bosia wo. Ekosiisen man saying this is what the investors will look at. Inti Mr. People like you who are enlightened and know the issues to hold them to account. I am more yes, I didn't know. I said, young Ghana for any answer. Until when they feel like it, they come and say anything and get away with it. Rate of debt accumulation, a mathematical principle. When you say a mathematical certainty, so what kind of cost subsequent borrowings, even if it is bigger than previous ones, will appear smaller, but it doesn't mean you've done better. Because at any given time, you can borrow within a certain band. The other issue about taxation, many you can say they've introduced 3 taxes. It's not true. At least budget, what they still in the year, there are about 6 different taxes on the other. So COVID-19 health revenue back. Road toll, betum. Now, and then one say, oh, Land Cruiser out here, road toll. Abra NDC for quote your 2 road toll muka crown. Say beside another Land Cruiser in Ghana, where people not driving Land Cruisers, they could afford. But what did they say? I didn't see them more the infantile woman. Why must they be excused and not held to account? The same way they held the NDC to account. Gaming tax, that's what budget team. Almost sanitation. Oh, my poor mama, sanitation. And over time, it affects people who engage in game. But almost a Ghana for. Oh, Mr. Oh, Mr.
Remember now, for the one.
Almost a sanitation and pollution levy. You be my friend of boiler tax. On my 1% increase in NHIL, 1% increase in VAT rates, and a financial sector cleanup levy of 5%. What can I say? There was a time, similar thing now. On the trouble, say, and papa. Why is it suddenly good under MPP? And these are 6 taxes. And what you know, on what now, move 5 days, they are 5th year. Before sir, taxes, nobody other measures about. Almost to between 2018. Almost to VAT by 5% through the back door.
Asempa FM.
We are normally the friend. Luxury car tax by. Say you to a pressure to move you. They brought luxury car tax which affected people. The Land Cruiser note here 10%, 1,000 to 2,000 cities every year. So renewal. Communication service tax almost to move by 50% from 6% to 9%. It's a 50% increase. ESLA almost to move by an average of 27%. A year special import levy 2% components almost extending beyond the sunset clause and no legislative instrument that they pass anymore. Almost we almost extended a year national fiscal stabilization levy and also 5% of corporate income and our corporate revenue patron. Who can in Aboma and the MPP are buying? They've introduced 12 taxes. Let me address the issue. Say they've removed 17 taxes and also no credit.
Abolished and reduced and in total 17 taxes.
Yeah, your tax be a friend is VAT, value-added tax. Value-added tax. That rating is 17.5%. It affected thousands of items. But they selected about 11 items. VAT affected. And in some cases, and I said they reduced it. Until you can't tell me say you've removed 17 different. Mabobo 17 different taxes actually. ESLA a different tax from COVID health tax, a different tax from road toll, a different tax from gaming tax, a different tax on sanitation and pollution levy. Into what describe here, these are different taxes with even different rates. But if you remove one tax from 11 items, when it affects actually thousands of items, you can't tell me you've removed 17 taxes. It's also a misleading narrative as
In terms of taxation, they have actually introduced 12 new ones, which is again a complete violation of promise. Said they will reduce taxes.
Ekosiisen
The other point is Obi. Again, abambi anywhere say auto tax one the same thing. There's always a reason why you. In fact, the basis is say buying no or buy mine no bra. By the time you go read the budget simply sika wo hwe num say won sabeka. Any sika afimu no wo de be buy mine no bra. Yeti yi ade a chia ye dwen kwan be hwe ebusu afo mo.
Yeah.
Nti wo be de no hwe ebusu wo pe sika. Wo saka sika no atase okay o cha metu akra ne fi sei. Me ba akon ma sei. E bia me kai say me say. That is what the budget is. Into work already budget, you must always look for ways to increase your revenue. Because once we are a developing country, we always have limitations. But they are not sincere. I'm be here propaganda tia NDC for. I'm a Ghana for do na sabi na omanti asem na say yes that time. Eji omutu mu. Esusu so mo ba. Be here bibi foforo. They have come and done far worse. And it's am quote what Dr. Bamche obi kwa gina baby can say amembo ye eto ojeje keka nka ne ba we di mfie du wo twebetumi bu o man no Dr. Bamia one of his propaganda lectures say your hemic another meaningless contrivance which doesn't mean anything. Say our debt to GDP ratio was 67%. Even can no use old series. But the fact is that the debt to GDP ratio as of 2016 is 56%. And then 76%. Into if 56% you condemned me. Say me ni ma memwo. Now you had extraordinary capacity. Now over now 76%. You are telling me say it is excusable. Now why are they in what sense?
Okay.
In what way have you tried?
Felix, my main fa unsi hana men komra me ba obetwa so.
Sure.
Ekosiisen suni. Lo mesa you
Obi oya mo
abadinta.
na oya nu we there in 2008 no opposition ansa na oba power in 2009 January no oya nu we free o abansam na wanka ogruba abansam na ndis for wanka against President Kufuor's government. But when you came, you did better. Yeah. Now some okay now about the tough one. I say every government has a reason to borrow. So the complaint of favor.
Don't remember one first excuses beyond.
Have excuses or other. Busa na ban wa ban. No origin or excuse.
Ekosiisen on
Obi.
Sempa FM.
Masi ya bobosa
96.1 billion.
na ye chirem there. Bosa na ya bono. Efa fi ha. Quarter fi ha, half fi ha. Na de boma or dam amount no. Mama ye chirem. Inti ye chirem on or ye excuse. You see? Yeah. I can't Dr. Kwesi Bocha. I wanna.
Professor Kwesi Botwe.
Yes.
Former finance minister.
Thank you very much. I can't 2014 and someone came about the PLS Mahmoud Baumia. Dr. Kwesi Botwe. I agree with much of what Baumia said about Ghana's economy. This man is the longest serving finance minister of this country. Sunday Felix Betsnaha okay Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and Sama okay about the economy of Ghana under President Mahama or Bosrebuka. So by so no, is he indicting Dr. Boje for agreeing with the things that Dr. Baumia had said about her economy?
Ekosiisen
Obi,
on
Short
Asempa
Memory
FM.
Association, my catch and come home. Because Asamo Bia Kebiano, it's well documented. No see bay yenye BBR differently. Oh, Felix. And then you go forward and say that, oh, taxes you reduce it, oh, if you cry a repetition of that now, you're segregating a so you agree that we did something. Yet you say we haven't done anything different. It's a matter of fact that we reduced and abolished taxes. Obiana had a list here, all 17 of them. Only City News March 2nd, 2017. 1% special import levy or VAT. 17.5% VAT NHIL on financial services.
So on your VAT.
You have VAT. But on your abolition.
No, so me too.
Abolition.
Me too.
Excise duty on petroleum on your abolition of taxes. Special petroleum tax rate reduced from 17.5% to 15%. On one year waiver of duties on import duties on spare parts. We see taxes are reviewed. National electrification scheme levy from 5 to 3. We see public lighting levy from 5 to 2. We see replace 17.5% with flat rate of 3%. We see tax credit implement. We see these are concrete policies that were implemented by the Akufo-Addo government. Only due to the cost of doing business in this country. It's a matter of fact. Now, I say, Brofno can cross about the meaningless contrivance.
Meaningless contrivance.
Obi. When the suits yen purpose, then we want the statistics to be interpreted in a certain manner. And the percentages in here, we should only stick to nominal. Obi. But rather no, in the nominal figures very meaningless. Rather, the percentages are the ones that clearly tells the better picture in the story. Is that not it?
The percentages, which of them? Debt to GDP or
both?
Rate of debt accumulation.
Now, in the debt to GDP ratio, no percentage, no here. Now, rate of debt accumulation percentage, no here. And so, the phenomenal. You see, yet these are the people who point accusing fingers first. Obi, these are matters of fact that a cow rate at which are what bossa when you were in government. What's this? And I was saying, a graph in will be all.
Yes, the rate of debt accumulation.
It's not the same. That's a matter of fact.
137% between 2016 and 2020.
Yes.
243 between 2012-2016. 269 between 2008 and 2012.
Yes.
30,
and 137.
Yes.
Between 2016 and 2020. That's a matter of fact.
Mm-hmm.
You may disagree with the interpretation as you are doing, obviously. But you cannot dispute that this thing is actually factual. Interpretation, you can choose whatever interpretation you want. But is this contrived?
Me too.
Are these statistics contrived?
On your contrived, boss say on own place premium on that. On that set of
data. He can choose whatever interpretations that he wants. But to suggest that it's contrived. Is it the case? You see, you can lie about it all you want. Dumso was money. It's a matter of fact. Because Obi, yeah, I'm a meka na more evidence. Me I'm some keke. Yeah, this graph and the more energy sector recovery program no so me that chiro. Na I heard that TICO or T3 whether it's counted as part of installed capacity.
Ekosiisen on Asempa
as
FM.
of 2010, na Ghanaian electricity yawo was 2,100 megawatts. Na yan consumption was only about 1,600. So we had a buffer. 2011, the same. 2012, 2013, no buoy came on. And so increasing to about 2,800. And I believe a few of the power plants also had come on stream. At this point, peak demand was only about
Asempa FM
1,900. Obi. 2015, we had installed capacity 2,800. Our peak demand was still under 2,000. We had sufficient buffer. Sikenen yenyi ayedibotsuya power plants the cow. And it got compounded by the damage to the West African gas pipeline. Gas was
Ekosiisen on Asempa FM.
We could do LNG. We didn't have money. Let anybody challenge me. But what was their solution to a financial problem? Obi, 2015 I was starting. In I don't know. Ya de kawa yenye skent ya ewa. Power so a entum generator we yanka for fufu mama. Warba fresh. No one bread wombo hwengum. Eja by the time you be ready to able to your uncle no. That my akufu adoli face is aye. Ewa. Na ya hwe say be your cow bia, you be your economy na ya for do edit ya. Then they started accumulating. Blue line now. 2015, what the big count do bear at 3,600. 2016, it be back count do almost 4,000. 2017,
Asempa FM.
it be back count do 4,200. 2018, it be back count do 5,000. 2019, you cross 5,000. 2020, you cross 5,200. At all times, throughout this period when we are accumulating power, as if to say there, Sabi. Our peak demand was still under 2,000. You tell me this is forward thinking? Here, forward thinking. Look, Obi, it's a matter of fact. There, because oye free ejuma na eye intino se ehia power ni nampa ode tumenya kakra our friend reserve margin so that machine could be no kochima na reserve no
FM.
and all the analysis I have seen reserve margin does not exceed 10% of your total peak demand. This is more than 100% of what we need. To the point that today, we are paying huge sums of money. Obi. The means Kyobotu will dualize Accra to Sekune. It can dualize Accra to Kumasi.
On Asempa FM.
In fact, Obotu will a railway line from Accra to Paga. We are paying all these monies.
More than 12 billion.
Man, I catch you. 12 billion not to your pipe a rail line from Accra to Paga.
A rail line where they know.
12 billion. Now, I don't know
dollars or your Ghana cedis.
Somebody.
Or your Ghana cedis.
This is dollars. On your cities as American cities.
No, the 12 million Ghana cedis.
Obi.
That's the cost of excess capacity charges paid to IPPs. 12 billion Ghana cedis.
The shortfalls that is projected to hit $12 billion by 2023.
Okay.
Can build all this infrastructure for this country. We are giving it to independent power producers. What cigar every day. Eko Sports Club,
Sports Club,
this Sports Club. When you may be a President Muhammad Abanada Roma, Busumbia Bantu for practically no work. Because more here that we nominate the power ho in the order to account. Say you so. You don't want us to speak about it?
Ekosiisen
And you say what?
Asempa FM.
That what will be when I know boldly. What did you kind of phone anymore? Or catch on there? Or you forward thinking? Obi. And then moya, oh yeah, real full. You know what to catch in there? Your background here for 1 megawatt crying from Congo. Ne, say, none of the Danko for the Naban or contract the power.
Asempa FM.
Them way ya. Ne, what Ghana Muda. Obi. So let nobody deceive us that President Mahama came to solve a cumulative problem. Please. We are not dumb.
Lack of investment in the
Which
sector.
lack of investment?
over the
Lack of investment wrong in Cham.
No, are you saying
Listen there, the data that I've showed you
yes.
now, blue light line in nine. Still a young consumer yet. Where is the lack of investment? President Kufuor was building Bui. There were other power plants that were on stream by the time President Kufuor was leaving. To make sure that the margin now only sufficient, such that between 2014-15, you could do some kakra was resolved. Mankada President Mahama. No, that's not what I'm saying. But to this extent,
no, the Eshe graph now. Such a how now peak demand no all many modo. By
Obi, the projections need I've seen all the documents.
Yes.
Is that we're projected to grow in demand by a little under 200 to 250 megawatts per year. Is that it? Show me.
No, under by 2019. Now peak demand no what try them deep blue no.
By how much?
Oh, on those on the
as of 2020, we are still paying for that arrow gap.
Yes.
Do we use it? So I wouldn't have a problem if Sir President Mahama or contracting up to 3,500, 3,800 within the 8 years. No, Bisu Bana say demand no or increase to the point where additional investment ought to go in within a certain framework. But this was reckless. This is not excusable. This is indefensible. Obi.
Okay, Mpacho, fast send them. Now, you fan to Facebook. No more. I share on Facebook. So,
send them send them Obi.
Now, you know, for one to see, Munko Brown Pacho.
Look, here, Obi. What's it? Why all your propaganda against NDC? Hey, Felix. Now propaganda training school. Now one of them know why propaganda. But you don't have an ideology school that you teach your people how when you propaganda school. Now we pay that. Obi, yeah. So the truth of the matter is this: that them gaming tax. I can document that. What did the finance minister say? Also, it's an area that government is losing revenue. Also, the many of the operators of these gaming
on Asempa FM
centers
are not based in Ghana. In fact, technology crano bet fine wine for now, all the ones that you see around. And the government is going to work with the GRA and other agencies to ensure that the almost 300 million that government could have gotten from there is achieved, or a new taxa. Why do I hear them? Felix, COVID-19 levy and all the other levies that government or initiate. Our lads na akra. That benibia bobosa because there's a need, and now they'll raise revenue because there's a need. Is there a need, Obi? And if you admit that there's a need, but disagree with government what it is doing now, what is your alternative? Under the presence of Mahmoud Baumia, PhD, always came with alternatives. To the point that your own
alternative did he provide?
Oh, plenty. Reduction in taxes.
Hey, it is. Oh, please. That was the alternative for
Digitalization.
Oh, please, Mpocho. Me, so
Bringing more people into the tax net like we are doing. The Ghana card.
Oh, really?
And the kinds of things that if the processes are banned all year were completer. That's forward looking. You were in power for 8 years. You didn't do anything about it. 8. President Kufuor started. So what Ben we wouldn't be speaking this language today. You didn't do it. Did you do the Ghana card?
Yes, 16 million people.
16 million. Hey.
Okay, I'll do this now, Maba. Now, yet here, Felix. Ekosiisen Suni. Lama sama munkombra. Mam just 2 minutes munkombra.
Ghana year revenue. Consistently, all our tax revenue is consumed by 3 items now. 2. Wages and salaries, interest payments, and statutory payments. If you suggest that Akufo-Addo has gotten more revenue, and so he should be able to do more, but those revenue items go into only 3 items. You get the point I'm making?
Me too, pa.
Into the structure of yen economy, yen revenue structure. Sikebia yebeji by way of taxes biano. You do to your workers, cow. You do to your interest.
You are doing virtually the same things.
No. So what other things different have we done? Is to work to broaden the net. Look, some of these things, it doesn't take overnight too. It's a process. Clearly, envision there, about achieve so that a lot more people are brought within the tax net. Indeed, COVID-19 relief NBSSI what they may. Okay. Because government no pedo encourage the tin number acquisition into where as a condition there before you apply. You must apply to obtain a tax identification number. What are your politics? You remember the kinds of things that Suhini is on record to have said up in his constituency. Is that the way to build a country? Look, criticism today. You criticized us when we were in government. Indeed, as we sit here, that's exact work that you are doing. So don't turn around and say that we criticized you and when we came, we are not doing what you expect.
Mamenda since lawyer Mesa and I'm telling Kano. Me bana fe Felix enya